Hi, this is Rick Julian, Chief Creative Officer of QV, and this is the Deep Dive. I think we get a little bit too smart for ourselves when we talk about brand. We have worked ourselves into such an abstracted definition that sometimes it's really hard to have a meaningful conversation about it. It's just so amorphous and so brand. Jesus. I think that it's a lot simpler than that. Brands are abstractions of human beings, of the human experience. All of this thing, this entire enterprise that we're doing is the human experience. So brands are nothing more than reflections of ourselves, our people. It's not this abstracted thing. Well, it's an abstraction of a human being. I'll give you that. But rather than talking about it in the abstract, let's kind of bring it down to ground zero and talk about the brand as though it's a person. A person that has a wardrobe. That's the way they look. That's their style. That's the choice that they make and how they present to the world. A person that has a vocabulary. It says certain things. It has a lexicon. These are the words that this person speaks frequently. If you use Facebook a lot, you probably have seen these word clouds. They will scrape your Facebook page and produce this word cloud of the words that you use most frequently. And the words that you use most frequently will appear largest, and the other 60 or so words in that word cloud will be proportional to the frequency of their use. So we have our own lexicon. I've done that. You've probably done that. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Same thing with brands. Brands have a lexicon. They have a look. They have a feeling. When someone comes into the room, when Susan walks into the room, how do we feel? When she leaves, how do we feel? And what do we say about Susan when she leaves the room? She's always so well put together. What a thoughtful woman. Boy, the combination of beauty and grace and intelligence and skill, whatever it wants to be, that's what Susan is. And Susan is a brand. The person Susan is a brand. But I could have been describing a company that is smart, whose imaging is well designed and well put together. A company that is thoughtful in the way that it interacts with its customers. So I think you see where I'm going here. Let's kind of get out of the too smart for our own good and bring it back down to kind of visualizing the brand as a person. I think that's a really good place to start. We can go off onto our flights of fancy past that, but let's kind of hang in this realm of a brand being a human that is multifaceted. And the more details we're able to tease out of that brand, that person's character, their nature, the way they move through the world, the more nuanced, the more interesting the brand for a company will be. What is that person's scent? What is your brand scent? What is that person's favorite song? If your company was a song, what would that be? Yeah. It's actually quite fun to kind of run down this road. And when you think about pulling out all the details about a brand, think about, I don't do these things, but a Tinder profile, all those questions that you have to answer, or a Match.com or one of those, all of those questions that you have to answer for those as a human. What about putting your company through the same exercise? All right. Peace.